Hey y'all, so I'm about to do today's workout. What we have is 5 rounds for intensity and technique, an 800-meter run followed by a 3-minute rest. So this one is going to be nasty. That 800-meter run should take you anywhere between just sub 3 to about 4 minutes. If those 800 meters are going to take you more than 4 minutes, then let's just cut down the distance and let's go with a 600 meter run if your best mile time ever is between that 7.5 and 10-minute range, and let's go to 400 meter runs if your best mile time ever is in that 10+ minute range. So if you're at home, you can use Google Maps and you can get on there, and there's a way you can just click around. You can right click and you can measure distance. You can just measure out your route. There's Map My Run and things like that. You can also just take an approach. Audrey had mentioned it last week, and I liked that approach. Is we know we want this to take about 3 to 4 minutes, so you could just go 3 minutes of running, 3 minutes of rest, and just repeat that. If you don't want to mess around with measuring the distance, just keep those efforts high and make it see how far you can run going 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off for 5 rounds. So what I'm expecting, and I'll try and interlace these little pieces here along with this video, but what I'm expecting is run 1 to be completely fine. Come back, I'm going to try and go at a nice fast but smooth pace. I'm going to really try and focus on just getting air in, getting air in, getting air in. So I expect run one to be completely fine. Okay, so just got done with run 1. I think this is going to be really the only run that I'm going to be able to talk very well after. That's kind of what I thought. It got hard towards the end for sure. Just kind of, you could feel the fatigue, but I just came out trying to breathe, focusing on using my feet like springs and trying to pick my feet up and just try to stay smooth. So this workout, I think we know, it's not about run 1. It's about the next ones and just kind of trying to recover in these sets. So I'll check in a sec. I expect run 2 to actually be a few seconds faster than run 1. And I could see at the end of run 2 kind of thinking, ooh, this is going to get kind of nasty on the next ones. Just got done with run 2. Kind of what I expected in the beginning is I was able to go about 5 seconds faster on the second run than the first. And I don't feel like I tried harder. Just feel like after you get warmed up, it's different once you get that first one in versus warming up for the first one. So if you're ever testing or doing sprints, it's a good thing to remember is do a round or 2 first, because usually it takes a little bit to wake yourself up for your best effort. So what I expect is these 3 minutes of rest is really going to feel short, and I feel like this next one is where it's really going to hit me in the face. And I'm just going to try and hang in there. See y'all afterwards. But I expect it's going to be after run 3 where I'm going to be sitting there going, oh my gosh, I have no clue how I'm going to finish up runs 4 and 5. I think 3 is really going to be the hard round. Okay, run 3 done. Okay. I actually surprised myself. I was able to maintain same general pace. My runs are 900 meters. It's just that way I could get a loop. But I've been going about 3.5 minutes. And 3.5, 3:25, 3.5, which for me is good. It's slower than my mile pace would be for 800, my best mile for 800, but not by a ton. And what I started to notice this round is the runs got harder. Mainly breathing and everything was the same. It was mainly the posture. And I started catching myself slump, started catching myself get lazy with trailing my leg, and getting lazy with drawing my lower abs in. And what we know is as soon as the posture goes, your force off of the ground starts to go away. Your oxygen, you can't get the same amount, your lungs, you can't get the same amount of oxygen in that you could with better posture. And we start using smaller, weaker muscles like hip flexors to pull the leg instead of hamstrings. So that's going to retake my focus, hopefully, for this next round. And I'm just going to focus on posture. And I think that's the thing I'm really going to battle for this one. All right, talk to y'all after 4. So there, I'm just going to try and take it 1 round at a time. I think 4 is going to be difficult. Okay, run 4, much better. I think it was just from the simple fact that from the very beginning, I was focusing on posture and technique. And so I was able to maintain it much, much better. And I think what happened to me on run 3, so I was tired, fatigued, wasn't thinking about, so I just got sloppy. And so when you get sloppy, you become inefficient. So at the second half of run 3, when I was trying to gain it back, I'd already worn everything out. But starting well from the start on number 4 really helped me maintain that posture and technique throughout. So I felt like run 4 went way better than run 3. Now I got just one more, so life gets way better once you're done with 4. You only have one more. You're through with the hard stuff. Now it's just a matter of time. I'll see you on the other side. Honestly, I think 5 is mentally going to be the easiest. Maybe not as easy as 1, but knowing it's the last one. And then what I'm going to try and do is just give that 5th run. I'm going to try and put it all out there, and it's probably going to completely crush me on that last run. So I'm gonna go smooth and fast. I'm gonna try and pick a pace that I think I can maintain throughout. I'm gonna try and maintain that pace, and then I might be able to go, I don't know, I doubt it, but I might be able to go faster on that very last run, knowing that I don't have to recover for anything else. But I think at that point, it's just gonna be hanging in there time. So I'll check back in, I'll let you know how it goes. All right, y'all, I just finished it up. That last run was nasty. It helps just knowing it's your last one and that you don't have to do 3 minutes of rest and do anything else. So you can be a lot more aggressive. So my last run was about probably 15 seconds faster than my fastest run up to that point, but there's no way if I had to run another one after this, I'd be okay, I'd be able to do it, but it wouldn't be anywhere near the paces I was holding before. So just some tips when you're trying to really attack a run, which I recommend you do on this 5th one, is start harder than you think and push the pace sooner than you think you need to. So what I find is that when I'm crushed and trying to run, that speed isn't too much slower than if I'm pacing it running. Whereas if I'm really trying to push the pace, that speed is way faster than my kind of pace it out pace. So the reason I'm saying this is if I can push the pace early and then get crushed, then I have a lot of time with that faster pace, and then I have, maybe the last fourth of it with the pace that's just a little slower than, it hurts a lot more, but just a little slower than what I would be doing if I was pacing. The other thing I try and do is I look way ahead at my run, because when you're on a slight incline or a slight decline, it's hard to really notice if you're on one, but if you can see them pretty clearly ahead. And so what I try and do is when I'm on that slight incline, I just try to maintain and breathe and don't put too much pressure on my pace. I just try and keep moving. But then when I'm really trying to attack a run, if there is a slight incline, I am picking those feet up. I'm embracing the spring of my feet on the ground, trying to use that hamstring, get that lean going, and just pick my feet up high to extend that stride. So remember, we don't reach out to extend the stride. We simply lift up higher. So that's how I attack it. I push the pace hard early, and I look for even the slightest bit of downhills, and that's where I attack, just because that's where my speeds can be much different, and the effort pays off a lot more than effort in other areas. So this one's fun. 5 rounds. Just take it one run at a time. Number 1, not too bad. 2, you kind of get into the groove. 3 for me was the hardest one by far. Gave me something to focus on 4, which was hard. And then 5th, probably metabolically, was by far the hardest, but mentally knowing it's the last thing you're doing, it's pretty easy to get yourself up and really attack it. It's a fun one. Hope you enjoy. Talk to y'all soon.